Hey Chris, have you heard about this political position called centrism? What exactly is a centrist?
Indeed, I have, good buddy. A centrist can be described as someone who has very moderate views and often takes a position in the political center. They are not very keen on big political shifts, either to the left or to the right.
Kind of like a moderate.
Exactly. You may see this type of political ideology today described as a center left or center right on the political spectrum. Another term to describe centrism would be social or modern liberalism.
Why would somebody want to do that?
That is a good question. I guess it makes people come off as a sensible person being balanced on major political issues.
What type of major political issues do people find themselves in the center on?
Well, one of the biggest and most heavily debated issues for the past few decades would be whether abortion should be legal or illegal.
Abortion is not a fun topic to discuss.
You are exactly right, Rambo. It is tough conversations like these where centrism often comes into play.
What do you mean?
Well, you have one side of thought that believes abortion should be strictly by a woman's choice, regardless of the specifics or outcomes of the childbirth. And then you have the other side of thought that believes abortion is considered murder and is absolutely wrong.
So where does the centrist play a role in this issue?
A centrist thought process on this issue may be that abortion is only okay if the mother is at potential harm from childbirth, or maybe only during a certain time frame of pregnancy, or maybe under certain circumstances such as rape or incest.
I think I get it. It's kind of like straddling the fence, right?
I guess you could say that. It's definitely a little more complex than that, but you are on the right track, little buddy.
This is very interesting, Chris. What are some other major political issues that we may see centrists play a role in?
Another big political issue our nation faces are social policies. What role do you think the government should play in people's lives in regard to healthcare, education, or work, for example?
The government should help with all of those things, shouldn't they?
Yes, they should, but the issue is how much. Some believe that people should take responsibility for their own well being and that everyone has a fair shot at succeeding in life without help from the government. Others believe that some less fortunate people need more help than others and that the government should provide things like free health care or education to those people.
Well, I think both of those viewpoints are valid.
Well done, buddy. Spoken like a true centrist there. A centrist in this situation may believe that those who have enough money to pay for their own health care or college education should do so, but those who can't afford it should not be left behind, and the government should ensure of that.
Hmm, I see. What's another example?
The national defense budget is another topic that most people and politicians in this country find themselves in debates about and have been in debate about since World War II.
How so?
Well, one might believe that the government should spare no expense to ensure that our nation is well defended and ready for anything, while others might feel that the country spends too much money on defense and could see more value in that money being spent in other areas like healthcare, education, or even infrastructure.
I'm guessing a centrist would want the military to be funded well enough, but not to the point where social programs start to go without, right?
You are starting to grasp the concept, buddy. Great job.
The centrist seems like a reasonable person, right, Chris?
Well, that all depends on whose perspective you look at it from, Rambo. A strongly conservative person may look at a centrist as someone who sympathizes with liberal ideologies, and a strong liberal person may go vice versa when describing a centrist.
So where does that leave the centrists in terms of political ideologies?
Well, I personally think they need to be a political party on their own. They could be the party that believes in doing what's right and not so much what's popular. Or they could choose to be more interested in solutions and not biases.
Does that make them better than the two parties we already have?
That's the golden question there, Rambo. There are some policies that being in the center on are just not productive, like with abortion rights. However, There are some policies where taking the positives and negatives from both sides and then formulating a healthy solution could do this country a lot of good, like on immigration reform.
It all just sounds too confusing and stressful to me.
Ha! Welcome to American politics, little buddy. I know it's getting dark outside, and there will be no straddling the fence on this decision. We're going home.
Okay.